A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twin Flame Universe. And in this channeling session, I would be talking about the emotion that is right now happening to the DM. But at one time, it was the DF who went through it. And when did she go through it, or when does she go through it? Is when she is being dropped by the DM. Now we need to understand one thing, that first of all, women, I want to tell you, if you are the woman or if you're the man, in whatever case, you don't deserve to be dropped off like that by anyone. Okay? If somebody is playing this dynamic with you again and again, that they show you hot and cold behavior, they sometimes come to you when they feel like coming to you and then they leave you, or they don't give you a clear picture, they don't tell you clearly like this is what I feel for you. Like in today's world, today's day and age, I feel that somehow there is a certain amount of awareness in women which was not there previously in the dark ages. In the dark ages, women was only a sex object and a child reproduction machine. In the dark ages, her job was only to get married. The parents would raise a child, girl child, they would raise her to a certain age. Now at least it is getting better, but there was a time when the boys, the groom's family would actually behave like they're doing some kind of a favor on a women or a family, which is giving their daughter to them, some kind of favor on them, like we are obliging you. And this is the reason why there was a dowry system, or this is the reason why they had to upsell the daughter all the time. It was like a barter deal, so we'll give you the daughter also and we'll give you money also. Now with time, what is happening is that women are awakening, and it's not just the women, but the feminine energy overall is awakening on this planet. There are many men also who have the nurturing energy, who have the feminine energy, and this does not mean they are homosexuals or bisexuals. It's not about sexuality, my friends. Some people are born with nurturing energy. So if a person who's a chef or a nurse, or they are in a job like therapy or a coach or a teacher, there was a stereotype few years back that these things can only be done by a woman because these are feminine tasks. But now, as the yuga cycle has turned or gone into from being in dark ages to the age of ascension, it's not a stereotypical thing, or it's not a gender biased thing. A man who goes to the gym, who looks really handsome, or okay, if we don't apply the looks part also, but if he goes to the gym, he's bulky, he's muscular, he could be a nurse also, or he could be a chef also, he could be a painter also. If you look at all the actors and models, what are they? They always dress up so well. Some of them, they apply makeup also, but they are very masculine in their approach, or they are heterosexuals also. So it doesn't mean that just because somebody has feminine energy or nurturing energy, they could be confused about their sexuality, or it's wrong to have any type of sexuality, according to me. Because there are many women also from that perspective who like to dress up in a masculine way, or they like to keep very short hair, or there is a change that the society is going on, is what I want to say in this channeling. So here there is a progression going on the women in the feminine energy. Even a man who's a nurturing person, a more compassionate person, he might attract a woman who's only using him for sex and not even telling him that. She could be telling him that I love you, I want you, I need you, I'll marry you, I'll do this with you, that with you. But in her head, in her mind, the only intention is to keep him as a friend with benefits. So this is something that should not be acceptable. Now, what's happening over here is that there are two types of love in this channeling that are being shown to me. One is a type of love which is so sacrificing in nature that people are willing to give their lives for it, you know. And the other is the type of love where they are very clear about what they want. Like, I saw this song, a very old song actually. It's from the black and white time, and I don't know why, but this scene is also part of the channeling, I would say, because I have been, and it was my aunt actually, who is probably in her 60s. She's 60 or 70 years old, I don't know her exact age, but she's in that age group. She was singing this song, and then she sang it to me, and then I kept singing it like I don't know for how long I kept singing it. Then I thought, let me just watch the video, because I had not seen the video, or she hadn't even told me from which movie it is. And I saw this scene, and it's from a story of Anarkali. Okay, now I really want to share this story also with you guys, because some of you would be from India and some of you would be from the Western world. Okay, so it's very interesting to see how characters were. A feminine character or a woman was like, she has to suffer, you know, if she's from a low status, and it somehow clicked within me. Something within me got triggered with this video representation or the whole song. The song is very beautiful, very, very beautiful. And with me, what has happened is, in the last few years, I would say, whenever I listen to a song, even if it is directed or written as a romantic song, I don't see it as a romantic song. For me, it's a song about one love. For me, it's always a song for source, for some reason. So, anyway, the song is not the channeling. Let me just clarify. It is the story. You could say the video clip, that the part that triggered me has led to this channeling, and this message has to go out to all those women and men who are doing inner work, and they are in their nurturing energies. They are very compassionate. They're definitely more compassionate than the person they are in a relationship with, okay? Because there's a hot and cold behavior going on with them, and it's really frustrating. It's really annoying, you know. They say something to you, but they don't do it. They say, I need 3 months for this or 4 months for this, and then I will change, and then I will do this for you or that for you. After 4 months, they're like, no, I can't figure it out. Or they will make some promises to you, some commitments to you, but they'll never fulfill it. Or when it comes to showing you to the other world, they will not do it. They will keep you as a secret affair. When they are really like all about you, then they will share pictures with you, and later on they will delete it. So it's like, what is happening? You know, you are sharing pictures with me, but why are you deleting it? And if you do the same thing to them, whatever they do to you, if you do the same thing, they will punish you. They'll either start dating someone else, they'll start ignoring you, they will not take up your calls, or even when they call you or message you, they expect like one message from me. Even if I say, hi, how are you? Or hi, what's up? You should be ready for them. Now, the thing is, there are two things now, okay? Either you love them or you don't love them. But if you love them and you're doing inner work, then you have to be really smart with people, because you need to make boundaries. You know that they're gonna come back to you. That much confidence you need to have. If this channeling resonates with you, then let me also clarify the third point over here, which I'll explain one by one, all the points. But let me explain the last and the third most important point is that you need to have that confidence on you that they will bring their ass back to you. Okay, they will have no other option but to come back to you, because you are that amazing. Because you are that amazing, because you are that much, you know, in your own eyes, you have that much importance. They will come back to you. That's the strong faith you need to have. And till the time they don't come back to you, you are going to celebrate every single day of your life. Whether they judge you, whether they misjudge you, whether they say something to you, you don't care if they exist or not, but they will come back to you. But the problem happens when they come back. Till the time they don't come back, the people with this nurturing energy are very happy, excited. They have all these suitors, and they have all these people who are interested in them, who could be really attractive also, you know, but they are like just still thinking about that person who currently, I think for some it could be a false twin, for some it could be a twin flame, for some it could be a soulmate also, but definitely it's not a karmic, because in case of karmic, once a karmic is gone, it's gone, the chapter is closed. It always happens. The karmics, they come Like when they come, they'll come like you'll be immediately attracted to them and you'll be very comfortable with them. But when they go, they will go and you won't also care about them. You will also feel that, it was not meant to be. But these people who confuse you, these are falling in the category of false twin, twin flame and soulmates. Because these people are like really nice, you like them, you love them, but you don't know why they don't fully go. And if they come, why don't they fully come? Either they should come and be there forever. So, the first thing is the story of Anarkali. Now, it's not a real story according to some people. Some people say it's absolute fiction. There's no truth to it. But Bollywood people in India, like you have Hollywood, Bollywood, they are the same things, I think. And there is a very interesting story behind Bollywood and Hollywood, because actually the real original name of this industry is Maya Nagari, which is called City of Illusions, and it was created by the uncle of the demon king Ravan. Marich had created Maya Nagari, and they had created two major centers. In fact, they would, according to what I have researched about, or what the download was, that they created one city of illusion in every country or continent. Wherever there is always one city of illusion. So I'm not gonna go deep into it. If you want to know about it, then please drop a comment, because it's a lot of hard work. You understand that it's a lot of hard work to research, a lot of hard work to speak, and then to record, and then to edit and share it all out with you guys. And yes, sometimes the channelings don't let you sleep because you're so hooked onto it. It's like, for some people, how they fall in love and they are hooked on to something or someone. For someone like me, it is, I am hooked on to this information. Like I just want to know it all, and it will not let me sleep. But yeah, with time, I have learned to somehow manage it better. And I don't immediately like say, okay, now I have to do it. I wait for some time, because I know if I'm patient, if I'm gonna wait, then I will get more things to add on to it. So this is how this channeling or any channeling comes to its fruition. Now, so Anarkali is basically a character where she is an entertainer and she entertains the king. Okay, she is a courtesan, which means she is one of the, like how today, in today's day and age, we can't really compare them, but if you read about Anarkali's character, she was a very sought after courtesan. Like, she was king's favorite, and she was trained and she was groomed, and she was being groomed since like a long time. Now this name Anarkali, which is pomegranate, the fruit's blossom, was actually given to her by the Prince Salim, who was her lover. And it is said that it is the same prince who became the Emperor Jahangir later on. And Anarkali had a secret affair with Salim. So when he was young, he was called Salim. And his father, who was the Mughal Emperor Akbar, got her executed. And how was she executed? A very horrible story, actually, very painful story. She was standing, and around her they made a wall. Literally, they cemented her alive. It's not even like getting buried alive where you're lying down, but you're literally being... The right word for this type of punishment is immurement, where the person is sealed within an enclosed space which has no exits. Okay? And they would be like it's like a coffin where they're literally standing, and the prisoner is left to die from starvation or dehydration or like lack of food, anything, you're just buried alive, but you're standing and you're still there. So this was like a very scary type of a punishment that was given to people back in those days. Okay, and the Bollywood people made the movies called Mughal-e-Azam, or Anarkali, I think also. I'm not sure how many movies were made, but the video I saw is from a black and white movie, which is not this one, which is not Mughal-e-Azam. It was even before that. So you can imagine. Yeah, so in 1922, there was a movie which was made on her character. So people are very fascinated by her character. And why are they fascinated by her character? Because she was this bold, beautiful, confident woman, who was entertaining the king. The king was very fond of her, very fascinated by her, even though he had many wives. But he would come to listen to her, and he would pay her very well, and he would really take care of her. And we are not sure that if he was also romantically interested in her, but definitely there was something that he felt. But what they say is that the reason for this punishment is not because he liked her, but because his son liked her and her social status and her profession. Because as a profession, she's an entertainer. Her job is to make the king happy. Okay, how such a woman who's of such a low social status, and otherwise she was not low, as long as she was entertaining the king, it's fine. But when the king's own son fell in love with her and she also fell in love with him, then that's when the problem started. So this is a woman who's in the dark age, or you can say that at that point in time she was programmed since childhood, because her training was being done since childhood by one of a teacher. And then when she was ready, then as per the movie also, the teacher presented her like a gift to the king, saying that look at this is my muse, or this is what I have created. Like how people create paintings, how people create an artwork, that's how she was created. Okay, so imagine how they saw a woman, a beautiful woman who can sing and dance and who can like enchant people, who's a charismatic woman, who can speak well, who can do poetry, who dresses up like a woman, on literally something big. Actually, I cannot even describe her properly as much as I know her story. So, but she's still programmed to please the king. She's programmed to serve someone, even if it's a very high person, but that's all her job is. And when she puts her emotion or her feelings into someone, she's literally given a death penalty. And how does this happen? So basically the prince falls in love with her. He's also watching her performances. Every time she entertains the father, he is also present. Mother is also present, because back in those days the Mughal kings, they used to watch them together. The whole family would sit and watch, all the people would sit and watch. So her performances were so breathtakingly beautiful that the prince could not take off his eyes from her, and he also did not know that he's going to fall in love with her. So now when they show the movie, they obviously show like the prince was also injured and he also was suffering and he was battling and he was trying to save her. But he obviously is not killed or he is not punished as such. He survives, he makes it, because obviously the king is not going to kill his own son. It's after all, it's his son. But the poor Anarkali, she goes through this brutal punishment. So I don't know why, but I felt very bad for her. I was like, if this story is real, then this is such a disgusting way to treat someone who's fallen in love. And what type of programming was given to her also, which she also could not think otherwise. Like, how do we change our life? Now, in this channeling, you learn one more important thing. When you want to change your life, you have to change your feelings. You have to somehow become a person. It's like an identity shift. You can't be the same person. You have to become somebody else, or you have to be someone who is able to match the energy or the vibration of what you want or what you think you deserve. Okay, so for example, if you deserve your DM, your twin flame, it could be man, woman, you want them to treat you better, then you need to energetically shift into a person that they will treat better. And for that, you need to figure out in your mind, you need to actually sit down and write down the points. Why do they treat you like this? Why do they reject you? Why do they ignore you? Why do they do this hot and cold behavior with you on and off constantly? Why don't they consider that you are a human being, a living, walking, human being who has emotions, who can get hurt also? Or if not just that, then you need to be treated with love and dignity. You need to be cared for. You need to be pampered. You need to be, you should be, their queen basically. why don't they treat you like that? You need to write it down on a piece of paper, A, B, C, D, E, F, and you yourself would know it better, that what are the reasons why they reject you on and off. And you will be surprised to see that there will be very typical reasons why people reject you. It's either social status, or it's something to do with, many a times it's social status, then something to do with, which is connected to your root chakra, believe it or not. Then it could be because of the way you look, your attractiveness. You might think I am dark, or I am fat, or I am not that pretty, I am ugly maybe, or I am not that handsome, I am not that good looking. And these things are all connected to your sacral chakra. Then the third thing is, it could be your profession. Maybe you are doing some kind of work where you feel that it's not up to their level, and that is to do with your solar plexus, which is your third chakra. You see how interesting it gets as you study it. So all these reasons, heart chakra, throat chakra, maybe some of the very advanced twin flames, they are very much in love with each other, and if you look at their fights or their separation has got nothing to do with social status, nothing to do with beauty or appearance, nothing to do with even confidence, nothing to do with love, but it's very, very importantly or deeply to do with communication. They both take each other's words very offensively, and they get very, very affected. Even if it's something very simple like one person calling each other a monkey or a donkey, and they would literally go on a mad rage that you call me donkey, so you think I'm a donkey, so you think I'm a monkey, you think I'm a fool, you think I'm stupid, you call me stupid, you think I'm stupid. So even a very small word would be treated like a big trigger, like a bomb blast, like how dare you say this to me. Like somebody would say, I think you're literally crazy in a fight. And they would be like, you call me crazy? You call me crazy? You think I'm crazy? You think I'm crazy? Why you call me crazy? I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. So anything they can take to like literally their heart. And that's because it's on the level of throat chakra is a major, major block. And in their childhood, they were deeply criticized. One of them was deeply criticized, and one of them was given a huge delusion about their communication, or the way they talk, or the way they behave, how they share their emotions. All these things are interrelated. Now, I don't know your personal situation. If you need a personal session, you need a personal reading, or you feel that you definitely need therapy, then please go through the description box and read everything, whatever is written. I have recently introduced a very, very enjoyable sort of a reading that I'm doing, and people, today only I recorded one session because it was so much fun. Now, I'm not giving you a guarantee that all sessions would be done in the same manner, but why is this different, this type of a reading, is because first of all, I would be checking out your human design code. If you don't know about human design, you can just Google about it and you will find out. So we would be discussing what exactly was your code when you were born to or sent to planet Earth. Okay, and how you can use it for your benefit to shift your reality, or shift from all the issues you are facing right now. Then the second thing is from the Vedic astrology. So there are four tools I would be using. One is chakra reading, one is tarot reading, which I normally don't do in one single reading. Okay, I had to sit down one day and I had to figure out that what would be the best type of a reading for the twin flame community, which they will enjoy, which they will love also. So in this Vedic reading, we find out about what are you born as, okay, what energy, masculine or feminine. And this is as per your kundali, and this is as per your date of birth, your time of birth, and your place of birth. So one more thing I want to share with you, if you don't know your date of birth, time of birth, or place of birth, then you can't get this reading. Okay, then you would have to go with an intuitive reading, which is a tarot plus intuitive reading, where you can ask questions. All right, and in this reading we would be talking about your energy, your life purpose, life and soul purpose, your spirit animal, and again what type of energy you're born with, what is your gana, whether you're a dev or a asur or a human, which is a hybrid. Then about your little bit about your wealth, about your partner, and what do you love and what should you do in order to make an identity shift so that you can be a match to what you are really trying to create. And as I said, your human design code, one advice from the chakra oracle and one advice from the tarot domain. And as I said, date of birth, time of birth and location of birth is a must. Do not book the reading if you don't have these pieces of information, because I cannot like cancel and refund, and these things don't work out in any energy readings. Okay, then for tarot and intuitive reading, if you take that, then you can ask 3 questions. You can write down 3 questions, which I'll tell you the procedure. It doesn't happen like instantly. Like, you have to first book the reading, then you'll send me the questions, and then I will schedule the time for you. We always try to do it as soon as possible, but because I do video readings, because that's my style of reading energy. I need to see the person in front of me. When they are in front of me, I automatically get to know things about them. So for that purpose, I need to see them on the video. And I have tried to keep the fees as low as I can, because if you check out other readers or other channelers, they won't even meet you in person. They normally send you answers in the email, or they will tell you to buy some kind of a course and then you can unlock the course and do your studies. So my style is a bit different, because whatever, I function like this. Everyone is different. We don't have the same tendencies. So then there are therapies, transmutation of anger and negativity towards DM into love. Then there is karmic, releasing karmic patterns. And my favorite is chakra therapy, where we have 7 sessions. So you can check out all of this information. Then we have dream interpretation. Dream interpretation, I'm clearing it out right now. It's not for everyone. You need to do at least 2 chakra therapies with me. Then you can do dream interpretation, because dream interpretation has a lot of metaphysics information and a lot of information on astral projection, lucid dreaming. There is a lot of dream work thing that you do, which I cannot explain. It's a very in-depth study. And then we have a mind, body and intention, or you can say, because all of us have intentions, right? We want to convert them into manifestation. So all these courses are there, and you can check it out. You can take text counseling also. If you can't do any of this, you can take audio, blah blah blah. So you just go through it and check it out yourself. But once you are sure, then only you write to me, okay, at thesunamoon@gmail.com. You don't need to ask me, you don't need to mail me what is this, what is that, because it's very clearly mentioned over there. And sometimes in videos also I'm clarifying this, because I do get a lot of emails where they just wanting to check out the information, and it's not possible to revert to people all the time, right? And now, coming back to Anarkali and Prince Salim. So Anarkali suffers, but the Prince Salim obviously continues to live, and he even becomes an emperor later on. So that's the part I did not like. I felt that why should women always suffer, or why should the emotional one always suffer? Why? What is their mistake, or what is their problem? Like, what is their fault in being who they are? Why should they pay a price? He could have paid the price also. So now, in the age of ascension, the position of people, anyone who possesses the feminine energy, it has to change, and it will change. Okay, there is a line of this particular song which I really like, the very old one, the one which was made in 1922. ये जिंदगी उसी की है जो किसी का हो गया, प्यार ही में खो गया, ये जिंदगी उसी की है. So it's like literally saying that your life is only worthwhile when you fall in love with someone and you are drowned in love for someone else. Now, I think this is the reason why she suffered, to be honest, because if you have this type of emotion, it's a beautiful song, no doubt about it, and I really love it. And if you replace, instead of making it a romantic song, if you make it a song which has so much integration in it, then you will actually get a lot of energy from this song. But technically speaking, if you feel like this towards a man or a woman, then at the end you would also be basically buried alive, you know, because that's what happens to people who love human beings that deeply. And I'm not saying don't love people. Come on, you should love people. But first, you need to love yourself. First, you need to consider your feelings. First, you need to show the same compassion to yourself. Okay? And I know on this channel, which is Twin Flame Universe, there are a lot of people who are loving with their whole heart. They love other people with their whole heart, be the family members, be it the friends, be it the lover, be it anyone. Even their work, even their bosses, they're respecting them extra. But what do they get in return? They don't get appreciated, they don't get acknowledged, and they're going through this stupid hot and cold behavior all the time, you know. So this is not done, this is not fair. And you need to figure out, when you make a list of the things why your DM or your DF, your twin flame DM or DF is treating you like this, you will find out that these insecurities are not coming from them, but these insecurities are coming from you and the way you have been raised in your childhood, throughout your childhood, since you were in your mother's womb, how you were treated, how you were misled, how you were programmed. All of that has a lot to do with why people are treating you so badly. So this is a lot to think about, my friends, and I really hope that you enjoy listening to these channeling sessions. I cannot actually please everyone. It's not possible to please everyone, but we try our best, because we are doing this work not for people who are here to just increase the views or the likes, but we are here to touch somebody who's all by themselves, who's all alone, and they actually feel that nobody understands them. But that's not true. Especially now in this age and era, in this time where we are changing, where we are moving to the higher dimension, you are not alone. Yes, you must have suffered a lot for a long time, but definitely there are many more people like you outside in the world, and they have shifted from where they were, from their dark energies to now where they are. They have shifted. So you will also shift. You just have to try. Alright? So thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.